in charge. Having accepted a request from the Kaijin called Hero, Rimuru has been frequently going back and forth to Raja, and every time he is away, he entrusts the safety of Tempest to me. For I am Veldora Tempest, one of the 4 true dragons in this world, the fearsome Storm Dragon. As long as the world knows that I reside here, nobody would be foolish enough to mess with this nation. So, if such a fool were to exist, they would either have to be a reckless daredevil or just some mindless tourists here to have some fun. Who's come to play Rimuru? Where did Rimuru go? And he was the reckless daredevil here to have some fun. This is Milim Nava, my brother's only child. She's what you would call a niece in human terms. Although she may look like a human child, she is one of the oldest demon lords and has considerable strength, albeit she's not as strong as me. A couple of tourists fainted just from the impact of her landing. Removes out of towns. I guess I'm the only one who can handle this Raska. He's gone to Raja Place again, and since I'm the only one who can protect this nation, I'm the one in charge. Wasn't he just there just the other day? Is Raja that fun? If so, I'm heading there now. I wouldn't do that if I were you. He's only visiting because there's something shady going on, so it's not going to be any fun. You are always visiting here, but have you ever noticed Raja from up in the sky? Yo, fuck off. There we go. Come to think of it, this is the first time I heard it was that banquet the other day. You think a small nation like that would have anything interesting going on? I guess you're alright. Speaking of that banquet, I saw you were only there for a little while. Where'd you go? I had to go back home for a bit. Faye has a go at me if I don't pretend to do my work. I thought you said that you weren't scared of getting scolded by her. I'm not afraid of her at all. Faye's my friend. What about you? You seem to be staying home like a good little boy for Rimuru. Are you scared of him? I'm not scared of him either. He's my sworn friend. That's why I'm doing him a favor for staying here. 2, I'm not afraid of him either. That being said, I'm starting to get bored. I already finished reading the sacred texts he left for me. The first time he went to Raja, he left a ton of sacred texts. But this time he had to leave in a hurry, so he didn't leave any extra texts. I may be a slow reader, but I finished them in no time. Oh yeah, I remember now, you're a slow reader. No, you just read too quickly. I bet you're skimming through the text without understanding any of it. It's not true, it's just that sometimes I might happen to forget what the story is about, that's all. Well, there you go, there will always be people like you who read so fast that they forget the story. That, in a way, I'm jealous of those people. They can enjoy the same text over and over again. Speaking of the text, do you ever get confused about which panel you're supposed to read next? I was puzzled when I first started reading them, but I was reading them side to side or from top to bottom. The dialogue made no sense. They only made sense when you read the panels in a zigzag. If only you look at it a little bit slower, you would be able to master how to read sacred texts. How about we go visit Raja? From what I heard, apparently a neighboring nation has been moving their troops towards Raja. I smell a war brewing. How about we go wipe out the neighboring nation for them? Are these all the visitors that fainted? Thanks for helping me during your patrols. It's only natural for people to faint if they have never seen Lady Milim laying in front of them. Seems to be having fun, and it's not like Lady Milim is being particularly troublesome, so where's this Raja place? If I was gonna go wipe out the neighboring country, this is not good. Even if I were to tell you the exact location, the two of you might end up wiping out Raja along with it. I'm assuming that you guys know where it is. Buy me some time. What are you gonna do? I'm going to ask Kobe if he has any good toys to keep them occupied. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to go check the map. Kobe, what's the matter? Have become bored and they have started asking about the nation next to Raja. The problem is, if those two launched an attack on that country, they could probably wipe out Raja along with it, so we need to keep them entertained in order to prevent this. Wouldn't they just end up wiping out Tempest in the boredom? I was wondering if you had any good toys that was sturdy enough for the two of them. I made pinwheels for the kids with leftover materials, but I don't think it's possible for me to make something that the two of them could play with. Only one who could prepare one quickly enough would be Lady Ramos. There was that thing with Lady Ramos that we had to deal with. Lady Ramos and Lady Trini suggested Raja should begin cultivating hardy foods in order to reduce the food shortage. Even though they were a bit bitter, Lady Shuna had the chefs who worked for the chef, who were able to come up with ways to work around it. But what's the problem with potatoes and buckwater? The thing is, although they will grow them in Raja, Tempest has decided to set an example by growing some in our spare fields as well. It was fine until Lady Ramos got a little carried away and ended up planting seeds in fields we weren't planning on cultivating. They were just empty lands with no plans for development. Now that about a third of the land has been turned into potato and buckwheat fields, I don't know whether to relocate it at all or turn the rest of the field into crops as well. Then how about having Veldora and Lady Milim enjoy cultivating the rest of it? Do you think they will find farming entertaining? He shows late. I wonder what father is doing. I'm so busy. This is serious. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. We have to cultivate all that land. Seriously, this is going to take so long. I'm going to be very busy. You can say that again. We have got to gather all the tools in towns. We'll be so busy. Did you find a map to Aja? Something terrible has happened. Didn't Rimuru go there because there was already trouble? We have got a bigger problem here in Tempest. Would be so thankful. That's how much trouble we are in right now. There's a field that Lady Remus has cultivated for growing hardy crops for fame and relief. I'm sure that Lady Remus wanted to surprise everyone by showing us that field once the crops had grown, but it takes a long time for crops to grow, and until they are fully grown, we won't be able to build anything on that field. That's why we thought it would be better if we turned the entire area into fields. But the thing is, you see, so far Great Remove's city planning has been perfect. We can't have unappalling, half-developed fields like this. The field was cultivated by Lady Ramirez. It would be a shame if only a few crops were to bear fruit. That's why our Kobe and I must quickly plow the fields, plant the seeds, and cultivate all the remaining half-developed land. I'm sure that the crops that they planted will go to be mighty. However, I'm not sure that we could do the same here. But easier said than done. That's easy peasy. You really think I can't do something that another demon lord like Ramus can do? Do you even know how to work on the field? What do you mean the land I rule is full of vegetables? Why not? These are hardy crops that are great for starving or staving off hunger, since they'll grow it even in poor soil, but they can also have a strong bitterness if they are not cooked properly. You are very knowledgeable indeed. I'm sure that if the two of you cultivated the fields, the crops will grow to be delicious. You've got me totally motivated now. Veldora, join me. Let's compete to see who can grow the biggest potato. 1/3 of the land has already been cultivated by Lady Remus. If the two of you work on the 1/3 of the remaining land, it should be easy to see who cultivated which field. That was close. I'm not much for acting. I guess we'd better be on our toes. Alright. Only one who's been plowed. It looks like someone did a mediocre job. Ramos gets bored easily. I'm not as bad as you. Not so flashy, don't you go quitting halfway through. Just having you two working on it will add so much extra value to the crops. The one on the right says Lady Ramos Road, the middle one is for you, Veldora, and the left one is Milim's. This way we can clearly see each person's field the growth. Shall we begin? Get ready for some serious farming. It's odd, why not? I hear that this Raja is so impoverished that the people have to survive on meager crops like these. Why would the neighbors send troops in? Maybe they're hiding on to a great treasure. But according to Kaiji and Hero, all of the mines have already been dug up. They must have been so hungry to have tried to nibble on Gabu. Guess it's his fault for trying to pet the creature. Wyverns that way. Come to think of it, I don't see many of them around here. I see them all the time in my domain. Maybe I should bring some here as a gift. Gabu does want to incorporate Wyvern riders into the army. I'll bring some next time. Treating powerful creatures such as souvenirs, these two are sure amazing. 2 fields cultivated by demon lords and another one by Lord Veldora, the guardian of the forest. The empty fields is being cultivated into a sacred land. I hold that the poisonous mine Raja was not something that just naturally happened, rather than an old magic circle at the bottom of the lake. With ill will, perhaps, Rimu thoroughly eliminated the magic circle, but the same person had struck Raja again, and that's why Rimu's gone back. Consider that Rimu isn't here right now because of that. It feels like an indirect discharge me. I guess you're right. After all, I've been so bored without Rimu. You could say that the mastermind behind this is the sin of the epic proportions. Once this incident comes to an end, Roger will be able to use this sacred land as an example, and in the future, we'll be able to produce better crops. Yeah, right. Besides, Rumu's going to be tired when he comes back, so let's surprise him with a pile of fresh, yummy potatoes. Crops don't grow immediately from the ground. You'd have to wait for at least 3 months. So that means it will be ages before we know whose potatoes are the biggest. What about soba, those squiggly noodles? And even though buckwheat grows faster, it will take a good 2.5 months. You have eaten them this entire time without knowing that. Don't tell me that you believe fish swim around looking like fillets. I've seen Haku fillet a megalodon before. That's quite an example anyhow. So, what do we do now? The potato contest is going to take a long time. You will have completely forgotten about the competition, I think, but it's still no fun having to wait. We need to change the rules. Let's play a game to see who can finish plowing the field first. Plant your pivot leg, rotate your hips, and oomph. How do you like my perfectly round hole? Fields on that shape, you probably don't know this, but I read about it in a social studies textbook when I was inside Rumu. It's called center pivot irrigation, and they are supposed to be circular. Speak of the devil. What was that large sound? I knew it. Of course, they couldn't behave themselves. Make me an automatic watering device right now. A hole of yours is no field. If you're plowing a vertical row, you need to swing the hole like this. I plowed it in one swing. That's not a field. That's just a ground fissure. And a deep one too. I'd hate for someone who can't fly to fall down there. And both of you, please hold your horses. We would appreciate if you could cultivate the land in the normal manner. Veldora steps up to the plate and swings at the meatball. Whoa! Did someone just hit a homer? Please, if you could swing that hole a little gentler. You got to swing it vertically. Ha! Whoa, Kobe, he disappeared. I'm down here below you. It was like the ground under my feet just vanished quickly. You saved me, I owe you one. If I had fallen down there, I would have been called a crop. You would have been buried. This almost turned into a graveyard. You are both safe. You got blown away into oblivion, and yet you came running all the way back. Incredible stamina. I've been woken out. Never mind that. We better calm these two down. I call this my flamingo leg kick. Humph. The winner of the triple crown right here. That's not fair. You blew a hole in my field. That's territorial invasion. Then how about you go cracking my ground with the favorite move of yours? Don't complain when everything's have been blown away. Even the soil's ruined, nothing will grow in these wastelands now. I've been waiting for that shockwave. The home one can swing. It hit my shockwave back. Right up the middle, you'd better dodge it if you can. I want to hit one out of the park too. They are having a shockwave rally. It's no longer a field, it's a battlefield. These are shockwaves coming our way. If we evade it, it's going to hit the town. The three of us need to hold it down. I'm not so confident about it, but we have got no other choice. You guys managed to handle our shockwave, huh? That's pretty impressive. You have both got some serious muscles. The hobgoblin too. He looks so skinny, but he's actually pretty strong. It's because we were plowing the fields, huh? Why's the ground all torn up to shreds? It's all been completely wiped out. And what about all the plants that we were starting to grow? They have turned to ash. Then what was all the effort for? Of what it would look like if the two of you tried to wipe out Raja's neighboring cunt nation? And I guess it's a mission accomplished. If we show them this wasteland, Raja's neighbor would immediately withdraw their troops. It's the best example ever. What is it? Vumu's coming back. Wouldn't he have already finished off the neighboring nation? I can't imagine him returning and leaving the job unfinished. But that means he won't learn anything from our fields. He'll think it's all just a wasteland. You know what? I was only playing along with Milim, so I'm not in the one. No, I'm the one who was playing along with the Veldora. It's all his fault. I'm not going to be the one who gets on the blame, so I'll level the ground for you. Stay out of my way. You can't even control yourself. Here, I'll show you how to level the ground. You're the one who's barely able to control yourself. Look at the new hole you've made. You are just as lousy. You've just made the land even more barren. That's one of yours. Every time I blink, the terrain changes. I'm sure it's all just child's play for those two. Grey Rumu has returned. I'm heading home. I thought you said that you weren't scared of Rumu. You alright? I'm sure that Rumu's tired from my hardest day at work. He probably doesn't have the energy to be upset. Is it just me, or is it pulsing stronger as he gets closer? I guess he's been seeing what's happened. We'd better brace ourselves. We are gonna get caught no matter what. He put you in charge of this place, so you ought to take the full responsibility.